Greetings, fellow classic television fans. Today we're talking about the classic show Kung Fu. Ed Spielman conceived of the show, and his friend and colleague Howard Friedlander suggested it be based in the Old West. TV westerns were still quite popular, but the idea of blending one with martial arts and ancient Chinese philosophy was certainly unique.
So let me get this straight. It was a new age action-adventure martial arts western drama?
It was Spielman who was studying martial arts when his instructor told him about a technique his tiny Asian wife could use to literally put his lights out. It was called Kung Fu.
Oh? I wonder if I could use Kung Fu to put your lights out.
Intrigued by the term, he decided it would fit well in the title of a screenplay he was developing about an orphan half-Chinese, half-American boy who was raised in a monastery to become a Shaolin priest. Unfortunately, a crime of passion puts a price on his head, so he goes on the run searching the American Old West for his half-brother.
As if things weren't difficult enough.
Many of the aphorisms for the show, especially the flashback scenes in the monastery, were based directly from teachings of China's Tao Te Ching. It is in one of these early flashbacks that Kane receives his nickname Grasshopper from his beloved Master Po.
Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet?
Although this was Spielman's baby, the show's look, feel, and writing style can be directly attributed to director Jerry Thorpe and writer-producer Herman Miller. The enchanting original soundtrack by composer Jim Helms used very abstract and authentic instrumentation, such as wind chimes, sheet metal, and of course plenty of wooden flute. This all proved to be an effective and highly original atmospheric blend for the show.
Genius.
Initially, Kung Fu did not find any interest at NBC and CBS. Even ABC, who picked it up, was somewhat apprehensive. Tentatively, they aired Kung Fu, The Way of the Tiger, The Sign of the Dragon as a movie of the week, but the show persevered through the network proving grounds to be met with positive responses from the public and the critics. The result was the show's 3-season run from 1972 to 75 for a total of 63 episodes. It was considered by many to be one of the most popular shows of its time.
It could have been.
The storyline during all 3 seasons held the viewer interest due to a familiar story of the nomadic hero who would come to the defense of the underdog and downtrodden.
Usually with some martial arts butt-whooping, I might add.
That's true. Being set in the 1800s, most people had never encountered anything like martial arts. This gave Kane an element of surprise in every single fight. Yet running from lawmen and bounty hunters meant that he always had to move on. This worked to create a change in story and circumstance for each episode. It would also subtly, and at times not too subtly, address 19th century class and race inequality.
It would seem that way.
And this issue was slightly raised during the casting of the show. According to Tom Kuhn at Warner Brothers, a large portion, if not most, of the male Asian acting community was considered for the lead role. Casting Philip Ahn as Master Khan and Key Luke as Master Po was
masterful?
Yes, they were key characters for sure and helped broaden the appeal of the show, but the Asian acting community had never even considered the possibility of the lead role of Kwai Chang Caine going to a non-Asian actor. When it did, there was some outcry, but once the producers heard David Carradine read for the role, they knew they had their man.
They don't make them like you anymore.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for part 2 as we discuss David Carradine, Bruce Lee, and much more.